What were you saying to Wendell?
Wendell Jake, I said, you're getting me in the mood. Wendell Jake said, mood for what? And I was going to tell him, but then somebody remembered it's a family
Oh,
show.
ladies and gentlemen, our come say hi. Okay, we're waiting for our guest. One of my favorite people in the whole world. I swear to God, Ciara.
Man, you singing that song. Whoa.
Whoa, bro. Whoa,
Listen,
bro.
you have an amazing wife. She's amazing. She
Hey.
can sit there.
That moment you think Ciara's going to say you have an amazing voice, and she goes with wife.
Amazing wife. Chelsea, you are the bomb. I can't lie. I was thinking like, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, well, what kind of song could I ask Russ to sing?
What would you ask him?
I love when he sings Marvin Sapp. Actually, the song that we walked down the aisle
Always
to.
Oh,
and
you mean
forever.
what?
Oh yeah, Always and Forever. That's a good one. That's our
What's
song.
up, man?
Oh, fun fact about that.
What's up, man?
God, I love
How's
you.
my guy? How's my guy?
Bro, I need some contact. I need some human
You know,
contact.
you don't need no contact, but
Some
what you
contact.
need, you need some have you been shooting, man? How's your jump shot?
I've been chipping, working on my golf.
I saw
game.
that. I saw that actually. You didn't
I'm gonna
challenge me
take
though. I
your
was
money.
disappointed. I saw that. You didn't challenge me though. I was disappointed.
Hey, win singing. I'm
What?
challenging Russ and Ciara right now for the chip shot challenge.
Oh, now you want to challenge me though.
Oh, you want to challenge us? It's on.
Hey, you've seen my golf game. Every once in a while, I may hit one pretty dang
It's pretty
far.
good, Judah.
You're an elite athlete, okay? But
You are
I'll tell you
too,
right now,
so-
Ciara got the
Yeah.
temperament for golf, though.
Ciara had.
I do have a temperament.
Ciara had a
golf.
birdie and had 2 pars in Mexico.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
This is before
know,
COVID.
You
This
know,
is before
you
COVID.
know. I had a great coach, though. You know, I had a
I'm
great
just saying.
coach.
She's been on a hot
Hey,
streak.
hey, tell me one of his tips he gave you. See, what did he tell you to do in your golf game?
You know what?
Well,
what? I think it was all in the form. All in the form. You know,
okay.
what's important is a follow through. Like when you swing, you got to follow through. Because I'll tell you this, I don't know about everybody else, but I missed the balls a couple of times when I swing. Like that's just the truth of it. That is, golf is
practice
like
swings,
a
practice
unique,
swings.
it's practice swings, but it's really a unique thing with being consistent. Like to be consistent is not easy in golf. So it's all in the form. The form was the most important thing. And then once I got that, it was out of there. Then I was on a rhythm. And then I started learning like more about the irons, like the different irons. Now I probably forgot all my stuff.
You know who's nice though? Little Future.
Yeah, he is really good.
We got him trained up now.
Yeah.
Got him trained up.
The love that I have for that child knows no end.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah, no, he's loving golf. Like he can go and play for 2 hours.
Yeah, he'll play all.
He'll
day.
just go and play with the coach or with Russ, or like he'll just go for 2 hours.
Yeah, we got him
crazy.
we got him a hitting coach.
Yeah.
So he's been.
So
he's
been like
practicing.
on it, like into it though.
He's ready for the
gloves,
WCI.
He has his own little bag, his golf bag. He has his own like what do you call it? See, look at me, my golf language, baby. What are those?
What?
The golf. No, all of that.
Driver?
No, just all of his golf clubs. I was like, what am I trying to say? He has all his clubs.
Clubs.
I just couldn't think right.
You already said it though, honey.
I did. I probably did. Either way, he has everything. Like he has his whole kit, and he goes focused. Like he's focused out there.
Okay, when I can come over, I'm coming over because this means everything. All I want to do is play with Baby Future. You're just gonna.
I'm putting her phone on charger because her phone's gonna die.
Oh
yeah, that'd be awesome. I think it'd be a nice gathering. That'd be amazing.
Oh, that would be incredible. So, are you guys good? What's the latest? What's the greatest? How you holding up?
We're hanging in there. You know, I think prayer.
Come on.
Is importante. We got to pray in this house because it's the same 4 walls with the same guy, and it's like crazy for me. I go crazy. I wake up some mornings, I go, ah! No, I'm just like, but no, it's
I got you crazy, baby.
You drive me a good crazy.
A good crazy.
No, but we, you know, obviously prayer is huge. I think it's kind of like being creative with the day because, as you know, we have Future and Sienna. We have our 2 kids, so it's really all about keeping things going. I think when you like, it's like we're making activities, like whether it's Russ is helping with like coaching, doing football and basketball and soccer, and we go out and play soccer. We're getting, even Sienna loves playing soccer. So that's really fun too. And her and Future get to bond in that way as well. Future has Zoom classes. So I'm doing that. I'm basically a teacher's assistant now. But it's so much fun. Honestly, I get excited for Zoom myself. Like, I'm like, I never thought I'd be this excited, but it's really cute when you see the kids talking to their classmates. And like right now they're actually learning about the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and Good Friday and Easter, like the story. And if I had this art right here, I would proudly show it to you, but they like color in the pages.
I wish you would.
It's so good. I'll have someone bring it. But they color in the pages, and like, it's just really sweet because he's like literally saying back his understanding of things, like the commandments, like they have their way, how they say the commandments at 5.5, 6 years old. And it's really sweet. So it's been a good bonding time for us. Like, as you know, Russ is about to be in 8 OTAs, and that's not even happening now. So I get to have him, you know, more than ever, like than we ever had before. Judah. I know, it's crazy.
I know. I obviously I got the memo as well.
Yeah. I know. So it's like,
we're going to have to call Jesus and tell him we're going to need some football.
We're going to need some OTAs.
We need some OTAs.
Well, we're going to need some real season football.
We are, seriously. Because I think for me, that's probably like one of the greatest, you know, the greatest wonders of this time. First, we're living in the time of the unknown, but like, where does this go? Like, I think that's my biggest question that I ask. Like, where does this go? Like, when is it really going to end? You know, and what will that mean? What is the end of this really going to mean? Like, will we have vaccines faster than ever before? Will we have medicine faster than ever before? Because once we go back to civilization, what does that mean? Like, if the curve flattens is great, we need to keep staying in. I want to encourage everyone to do that. But in addition to that, okay, what happens when we go back out there again? You know?
Well, and that, like, let me ask you that question. The two of you, give us one or two things you think, culturally speaking, both of you are so engaged in culture, and both of you have such incredible platforms. And I know that you're listening and you're learning and you're watching. What do you think are one, two, maybe even three things that will never be the same again in the world as we know it?
Never be the same. I definitely think the way media is consumed and created will never be the same. You know, obviously how we're able to do this, we're doing more of this than ever before. And I think it's something actually really convenient and cost efficient. To be honest with you, like this morning we were on Good Morning America, and we did it from our home. Like, typically I'm getting on a plane to go to Good Morning America. I have a glam squad. There's all this stuff that goes into it to be physically there. And I think we're all learning how to be more creative during this time, you know? I honestly do think though, like, I've been saying a few times, as tough as this time is, I go, thank God for quarantine. Like, there's been some really cool things that have happened, where you're like getting to connect with people in a way you never get to, or you get a chance to like see what's happening. Like, cause we're always moving. We're always on the go. What's up, baby?
I'm just trying to fix it here.
No, we're always moving. We're always on the go. And so quarantine it has slowed life down. It's kind of like that thing of like, you know, in the Bible, be still and know that I am God. You get to really feel it now. You get to really like be still, right? And like hear more and see more and feel more. And it's pretty amazing. I think that we're going to, while we're heavily on the phones right now and communicating this way, I think we're going to all crave and have the desire to connect on a personal level when we're out of this. Like when we get together and unite and like, you know, get back to like civilization, I think we're going to really appreciate those moments. We're not going to take them for granted, you know, because it is challenging not to be able to see your friends or your, you know, other family members, or just being able to go out and have a date night. Like, you know, so we're going to be like,
I'm going to do a little date night with her on Friday. I'm going to take her down the driveway. Okay. We're going to hop in the car. I'm going to make dinner. We're going to go down the driveway. I'm going to put a little candle on the dashboard.
Candle too, babe. And he's going to make the dinner.
Oh, he going to make the dinner.
Exactly.
The dinner and the dessert.
Oh, so babe.
And so anyway,
what?
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but we're gonna have a candle dinner, and then you know we're gonna put a little iPad up. We're gonna have a little dinner and a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Dinner and a movie.
The drive-in.
Hey, you know we're gonna have our own little drive-in at the house, his house.
I'm getting features
we're gonna watch. We're watching Ozarks right now, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
seen
been
that?
so good.
I've heard so many people are doing that. Is it good?
You have to watch Ozarks. It's incredible.
No, Ozarks is amazing.
Jason Bateman is the main character or whatever, but you gotta watch it. It feels so real. It feels like you're like, you know, it feels like you're in Seattle or somewhere like that. You know, just it's like kind of like it could be really real what's going on. So anyways, it's pretty fascinating show.
You know what though,
Ozark.
Ozark is really good, and there's also this kind of feeling to it that you get so vested into it that you feel like you're going through it. What is it, cathartic? Like you feel like you're going through it with them, like cathartic, yeah. Lethargic? No, not lethargic. Lethargic is like when you're slow. Cathartic, isn't it cathartic?
Cathartic,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good word. That's a big word.
You know what I'm saying? But where it feels like you're going through it with them, you know? And I'm pregnant. So when you're pregnant, your dreams are crazy. Like my dreams are like all over the place. And I think Ozark is contributing to that. Like it's kind of crazy, but it's a really good show.
I love you guys so much.
You should watch it. Another one. What?
Please, yeah, no, give us another one, then I'm gonna ask you some more questions.
Another show that I've been really into is Tiger King.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus!
Have you watched Tiger King?
Got my head spinning.
See?
I haven't seen it yet.
Join me. I'm trying to convince him to watch Tiger King.
We have a rule, Judah. You know, talking about marriage here and life together. You know, we have a rule, and the rule is we're gonna watch these shows together. And guess what she did?
No. It's when we start the shows together, because you have a few shows you watch without me.
Oh, and it's getting real.
There's a few shows that, speaking of one of the shows, is Good Wife.
Yeah.
I started watching that before I met you.
Yeah, but you still watch it without me.
I watched that religiously for a while.
Good Wife, they got like 9, 12 seasons.
And anybody got time for all that?
And there's 24 episodes in each season. I can't even keep up. It's like a mixture of Law and Order and Ozarks and all in one and Scandal. It's too much. I'm trying to keep up. I'm in season 5 and I've been watching it for 10 years.
It's overwhelming, if you ask me.
Hey, speaking of overwhelming, Ciara, you were a mega global superstar as a teenager. And here's what I want to know.
I was too. Yeah, me and you, Judah.
So here's what... Hey, that was Carl Lentz just trying to call me. I got no time for that right now.
Carl, I love you, Carl, but not right
now. So, what were you going to say?
Global superstardom. And this is what astounds me about you. 2 things. Your humility, your connectability. Those are just one thing. And then your passion for ordinary, average, everyday life. And the reason I say that is because oftentimes stardom seems, from my vantage point, which is very limited, seems to touch people. And then the average, ordinary, everyday life is no longer enough. Like it doesn't give them enough energy, passion. And that's where obviously substances and some decisions are made that can really harm somebody. How is it, C? And thank you for marrying Russ. Have I said thank you lately? Thank you for marrying this man.
You did a couple days ago, actually. You texted us.
Okay. How do you navigate that? I really mean this. It's one of the things I admire most about you. How do you stay grounded, humble, passionate about ordinary things like being a substitute teacher right now for your kids?
Well, you know, I don't forget where I came from. It's just that simple. I don't forget where I came from. And so I'll never take any of my blessings for granted. And I'm grateful for, you know, my come up. Thank you. She's got the Easter book. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for, you know, having been able to see the not so pretty, not so like together side of life, or like, you know, financially, like finding myself along the way in life. I said the other day, I was like, I'm grateful for my failures, you know? And so I have an appreciation for all of that. And I think that's what humanizes me. You know, it's like, I'm grateful that my first album that I put out called Goodies was 16 years ago. And there's still so much more to do. I haven't been able to see it all. Like I've won a Grammy before, and that's a blessing, but I pray to win more Grammys. I pray to be able to do, you know, to travel the world even more, to have a proper world tour. There's still things I haven't done. So I think, you know, all that kind of keeps you humble because it gives you something to look forward to. And I'm glad I didn't get everything at one time. Wow. I think if I would have gotten everything at one time, I probably wouldn't have had a concept of like, you know, really truly being appreciative, like, because you feel like things are handed to you. And I'll be honest with you, in this generation we're living in, I feel like things are so convenient that it creates a false perception of success. And if you're so consumed with like being successful, you know, you lose who you are in the process. And that's one thing I've always said is I'm really fearful. I'm really afraid of losing my soul and losing myself. I never want to be like, and here's a true reality. What I learned is that I, at one point in time, loved this thing called music and this industry called entertainment so much that it was like, I would do whatever it took to be successful. But the reality is that you can love this thing so much and it will never love you back the same.
Whoa.
It will never love you back the same. Like, you're going to have records that won't work. You're going to have business things that you're going to do that are, you know, you may fail. And the reality is it doesn't hold back. Like, it's like you fail and it's up to you to figure it out. Right. And then that's when you dig deep spiritually, and you got to dig into, you got to have faith. And I'm glad that I had that before this industry, you know, because otherwise I think I would have been a lost soul at many different moments in my life. And especially, in the tough times, you know?
And then to see you, wealth has been an interesting conversation for me, and something that I've learned by proxy to you and to Russ and to others, watching what's the definition of wealth, because oftentimes our culture just goes to straight money. Well, it's just bank account, checking account, savings account. But you are so overtly wealthy, meaning there's so much depth to your relationships, your friendships. I remember watching you guys on your most important day, your wedding, and seeing the depth of love and care
that
you
was
had.
A cool day.
Oh man, that was a cool day. But to watch this amazing angel care for people even on your wedding day, but you had longevity of relationship. And I was mesmerized by who was at your wedding. And I don't even mean their renown. I mean their depth of care and love for the two of you, which is, man, how is that not ultimate wealth?
Yeah, you know, I think that's what it really is about. And, you know, when I watch people go through like really challenging times in their lives, you know, especially from a health perspective, you actually say health is wealth, right? Wow. You think about that, you know, being able to wake up every day and being able to just simply breathe, you know, the simple things in life, that's wealth. Like having a roof over our head right now, you know, is wealth. Obviously,
just being able to breathe, you know, is a gift. You know, I remember my dad was on his, I remember when my dad was on his ventilator, you know, and just, he had no more breath on his own, you know, and to be able to have that. So I think relationships like this is going to, you know, what's amazing about God right now, I think, and as you were speaking about C and how she is, and I think what's really cool is like, you know, the reality is that despite the storm that we're in, God's finding a way to reconnect us and bring us home. And I think that's been the greatest gift in this. If we can always look at the negative side of things, which there are some. There are definitely some real things. People losing lives like crazy. People getting sick.
Family members.
But at the same time, too, I think in the midst of the storm, the best thing that we can all do is to love one another, forgive one another, to communicate with one another, to have that human connection. And, you know, technology is not a bad thing, unless we use it for bad. I think the reality is this technology, for us to be able to communicate like this and FaceTime and everything else, and us to feel like we're all in the same, homes together, even though we're all away from each other and distant. I think there's the gift that God has given people to be able to create technology, and the gift that we can have to be able to share moments and have, you know, one-on-one conversations, but not just one-on-one conversations, but also to speak life into people. You know, I think that's the gift, and I think Ciara's greatest gift is grace, you know, just how she, how she encounters everybody, you know, and
That's
I remember that from the first time I ever met her. It was like she just had a different feeling about it, you know. And so that's
like
what I
a
like.
butterfly.
That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? That's
Hey,
what I like.
On
And
a
then,
lighter
just
note,
how she say again.
I was just going to ask you some less important questions, but the people want to know.
They want to know
what do the people want to know?
I want to know, see, what is your least favorite song or record you ever cut?
My least favorite song that I've ever cut? You know, it's probably good if I don't say the name of the song.
Okay.
Because then people might give the producer a hard time. But there's a song that I did.
Any song that ain't about me. That's for sure.
Trail of Nova. There's a song that I had to record one time. It was my second album, The Evolution. Was it my second album? Yeah. And the label.
That's how you know you got it. And you're like, is that my first, 8th, 9th, 10th, 7th, 7th album? Or was my second?
And the label, they made me go in and record this song by this producer that was like almost a remake of what I had done before. Like it was kind of like the same sounds of a song that I did prior that was really successful. And actually, I think it was my third album.
I gotta go, Judah. I love you. Bye.
All right, I love you.
Good. Love you, man.
It was actually not. I think it was my third album, and I was so mad because I'm like, I had already done this sound before. I'm like, why do I have to record this? And they wanted to be my main single. And then when I didn't follow like what they wanted me to follow, it actually kind of hurt me a little bit because they were like not happy that I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And I'm just like, I've been a part of writing all my songs. I've been a part of the vision for everything that I do. And so it was really frustrating because I felt like they were trying to force a sound on me that one I had already kind of just done, like regurgitating a sound I already had created. And then it was like, it didn't feel like the right direction. Like it was like, there was no meat to it. So that was very frustrating. And my studio experience to record that song was not good either. I didn't have the best experience with the producer. So that was really frustrating. I wish I could tell you the name of the song, but I don't want people to point fingers at people.
Yeah, so no, you're so smart. But this is one of the reasons I admire you so much is I think the answer you've just given not only is honest and candid, but you understand why. You're so self-aware. I think a lot of people would answer that question and say, oh, I like all the songs. It's all good. But you are so intentional and purposeful with your life. I've watched you over these last few years, and I've watched you assess and take inventory of why this is enjoyable or that is enjoyable, or watching you and Russ navigate now your marriage and being so efficient and effective with your time. And I admire that. The willingness, you knew which song it was. You knew why it wasn't your favorite. You knew why it wasn't very good. And I just think that's so, what I'm being left with throughout this entire quarantine is how powerful intentionality is. Just knowing yourself, knowing what was good, what was not good, because you know your successes, and your successes are on the scoreboard of life for the whole world to see, but you're willing to go, that wasn't good. I'm going to get better at that. I'm going to work on that. And I love that about you, see, I really do.
Yeah, I think we always have to be able to look ourselves in the mirror and reflect and, like, you know, of course, recognize the great things, but also be aware where we could have done better, because that's the only way that we grow, you know, is being honest with ourselves, I think is important. You know, I think that's where you have your greatest breakthroughs, when you like really face yourself in the mirror, you allow yourself to be vulnerable. I've always talked about that, like vulnerability is very powerful. You know, you feel like you in your mind, you think being vulnerable is being weak, but really it's yourself. You're allowing yourself to kind of peel back those layers and really dig deep and get to the source of the issues or the challenges. And then you face them head on, you deal with them, and then you come out better because of the process. Because my way that I used to think being strong was like patching something, like, okay, like that happened, I love being happy, so I'm like, as long as I'm gonna keep on moving and being happy, but that issue is still there, you know, that you didn't deal with it. You got to deal with the issue, like, you know, and I'll smile through it all. That's just who I am. I love laughing. I just love having a good time. But there are moments where you can't avoid things, you can't escape things, and you got to face yourself in the mirror and face those things head on. And understand that when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, like, it's okay to have flaws too. I think that's important, because I also didn't like to like share things certain ways, because I don't want people to like look at me like something's not right. And it's like, hey, it's okay for things not to be right. Like, it's okay to have like the not so best days. It's okay to have like the embarrassing moments. Like, we all do. We all experience a lot of the same topics. We just have a different story about them. We all experience love. We all experience heartbreak. We all experience, failures. We all experience challenges. We all experience it all, but we just have a different story about those topics, So, wow. Yeah.
I love that about you. Have you learned anything about yourself through this that you didn't know before?
Through COVID, through this time that we're in right now?
Yeah, quarantine, COVID-19, yep.
Well, one thing I do know is that I'm patient. That has been confirmed. I'll tell you that. I've always been patient. So it's just a reminder that you're built for this time. My patience, I think, has carried me very far in my life. And like I say, I've been there before where I didn't have much. I ate mayonnaise sandwiches when I was younger. I made sugar water when I was younger because we didn't necessarily have the flavored drinks. I've done it all. So, I'm ready for quarantine. Quarantine, break it out. I'm ready. But let me see. I just really have been able to connect in a great way, especially with my babies. And Russ too, because again, his schedule normally runs, we normally kind of going like this, and then we meet in the middle and we go like this because he's doing football, I'm doing music. So, it's been amazing just being able to bond with my family, like in a different way. Because even with work with my kids, I'm normally like I'm here. And when I'm here, I get locked in time with them and lost in time with them. But then when I have to go for work, sometimes I have to travel for like 3 days or 4 days. And yeah, I do it's time. I have to travel. You can tell them. I'll call them. Sorry. Push it back a few more minutes. Tell them to watch Judah's live. Tell the team. They'll watch. They'll see when I get off. Sorry. But I'm going to tell them to watch it live so I can chat with you a little bit more.
We're wrapping up.
But it's been really amazing being able to have that bonding time. Like, I value and cherish so much. And I think I really think I'm going to come out better because of this experience. Like, I really have decided to face this time, like this is just the hard reality. I'll tell you, I'm going to actually talk about this on my Women's Wednesdays. I do Women's Wednesdays now because I want to connect with women and just, see what's happening with other girls like myself in this process, but also pregnant women. Like, great example, I'm talking about it next Wednesday, but like I have an ultrasound coming up and Russ cannot go in my ultrasound with me. So there's so many other women like myself, right, that are going through this. And in New York, there's some really strict rules now. Like, it's an interesting time, and I'm not used to that. Like, I can't do an ultrasound with my husband. Like, that's like one of the most special moments that you have, with your partner and your baby to come, So I think that I've decided to embrace the time that we're in. I've decided to face it head on. Like, I'm not going to be defeated by this. We're not going to be defeated by this. I'm trying to learn as much as I can in the process. And I've also been saying to God, like, what do you want me to do? What do I need to hear? Like, I want to have my spiritual connection to this time, like with God. Like, I want to understand what I'm supposed to hear in this time.
Me too.
Use me how I need to be used. It's been a blessing to be able to give to people in a time like this. It's a blessing to be able to even have something to give in a time like this. So I don't know. I think I've always believed I was patient, but it's been confirmed I am patient.
Yeah, you are.
And we can make it. I think that's the greatest thing is, like, with love, you can make it through anything. I'm grateful that, I can speak on behalf of Russ and I, that we haven't gone crazy yet. So we're good. We can go every day back to back, seeing each other all day and be okay.
We've learned that. We
have learned that. But I'm making the best of this time. It's really all about family. It's really all about love. Like I said, I've been enjoying my Zoom classes. with the kids. Cece even has a Zoom class that she does not focus in. It's just she's a 2-year-old. So, I mean, what do you expect?
Right, what did you expect?
She turns 3 this month, actually, April 28th.
Right, little princess.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And we're going to have to do a birthday party in a different way here.
Yeah.
You know all about it. You just did one.
We did one, yeah. And honestly, we'll remember it forever. And to your point, like we're going to remember this. And we're going to remember what we learned and what we learned as a world and what we learned as individuals. But honestly, I want to let you go. Your light, who you are, your smile, everything has not only lit up my life, my wife, our kids, but the world. I love who you are. I really mean that. I want to say thank you. Just this conversation, seeing your face, your countenance, your take on life and your explanation. If you ever run for president, I might write you in. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, write me in then. No, I was playing. Thank you so much.
Love you.
I'm grateful for you too. No, of course. I'm so grateful for you. And you've been a ray of light, I think, in the midst of this time that we're all going through. Seeing your lives has been really fun. And us chatting on live has been really cool. And it's a blessing to have someone like you to call as a friend. And in any time that we're in need, you know, you're always there. So you're a rock star. You're a rock star. Before we go, I want to show you Peter's Easter story that we've been doing. So it's almost finished. So he's like did his little coloring. And then here you see it says the King cometh. And then it says, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes into the name of the Lord. And then I think the verse is going to come up here, Mark 11:10. And then you go here, Garden of Gethsemane, right? Gethsemane. Thank you very much. Look how much I'm paying attention. Gethsemane. But not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22:42.
Oh, yeah.
And then crowned him with many crowns. That was actually the moment they mocked him, where they mocked Jesus. They mocked him and said, Hail, King of the Jews. Matthew 27:29. And then he drew the cross. I don't know if the verse is on here perfect. It says, Jesus cried, it's finished. John 19:30. And
this is what I should do for Easter. I just show this.
So funny. Why not, right? And then it says, he is not there, for he is risen, as he said. He is not there, but he is risen. Matthew 28:6. And then he had one more page he's doing, but either way, you know, it's really sweet to see him actually do this because he goes to a Christian school here in California. And it's awesome to see him be so connected and so curious about God and Jesus and understanding that at such a young age. Him and Sienna, they sing, you know, they sing around the house. Gosh, what is that song they were saying? I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But, you know, it's just really sweet, really powerful. And it's been really fun to be a part of this special journey.
Man. And seeing it through the lens of a child is so, like, even seeing the Easter story right now through baby Future's perspective, it's just recalibrating for us grown adults. It's like, it's really not complicated.
It really isn't. Like you say, he's 6 years old. And they have their way of interpreting it. And honestly, it's a simple way, but it's even effective for us adults, you know, except I need to know how to pronounce that again. But,
Gethsemane.
Yes, the teacher said it, and I can't remember yes, Gethsemane. See, I'm learning too. But yeah, see, actually, you would think it's spelled how I said it, but yes, you're right. You are the one that would teach me that, you know, it's only right.
I don't know a lot, but I know how to say Gethsemane.
Yeah, but I love you, Judah.
Love you, C.
And Chelsea and the babies.
Thank you. Likewise.
And you know, we're gonna get through this time together. We are literally gonna all get through this time together.
Yes,
I think the biggest thing is, I think there was this article that Bill Gates was talking about where he said, he called like the great connector, like in regards to how we're getting connected during this time. It's also an equalizer. Wow. You know, no one's exempt. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what house you have. I don't care what. None of it matters. And I think that that's what this is also teaching us. You know, it's really about the true necessities, like the true fundamental things in life. Like I say, being able to breathe, like you can't take it for granted. Being able to walk, being able to talk, having food on your table. It's really simple, you know, but it's real, right? And so I've honestly actually enjoyed this time. That's why I like I said, doing those things on my Instagram, like the lives and stuff, because I want to be intentional about my conversations. And I love learning about people. I love learning about how people process things in times like this, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you grow in that process, you know, we become stronger in that process together. So, you know, we're going to look at this time. It will be a time of a thing of the past. I'm declaring that. And I think we have to like embrace the good things out of this time, you know?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, take it with us, you know, even if things get back to normal, whatever normal is, we got to take this with us. We can't leave it here. I don't want to leave it in quarantine.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's inevitable. Honestly, I think we are going to come out better from this. And I think even be even more humanized from this, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. It does.
You know, be more grateful.
Yep.
You know, stronger. I think, you know, the moment the opportunities are back on the table for people, you know, I think it's just going to be amazing. I'm going to look on the others. I'm going to have my faith, keep my faith going and see the light at the end of the tunnel, and, you know, believe in what I don't see right now, you know, lean not on my own understanding right now.
Come on.
You know, just got to trust the process, trust God. And really take advantage of this time. Like, we got to figure out how we can use it for good, right? Yep. How can we use this for good, right? How can we be better on the other side? I think we're going to be stronger. We're going to be able to build more secure foundation if we haven't secured it.
Totally.
There's so many great things I think to look forward to, you know?
And thank you for sharing that perspective, because I think it's going to be imperative for all of us to keep that front and center, that, hey, what did we learn? Let's now take it with us in this journey. And I'll tell you this, like, my love for you and Russ and the babies has grown. The thought that I can see you guys in person someday again is going to be like, it's just going to be meaningful. And I want it to be meaningful forever. You know, like my friends in relationships, I'm going to take this intentionality. I'm going to take this purposefulness, and I'm going to take it with me when this is all said and done. And I pray that generations won't be the same again, because though this is horrific and tragic and not okay, it's going to change us. And I believe it can change us for the good.
Oh, for sure. It will. I believe with you, it will. It will. It's going to be, we're going to party on the other side of this. We are. Yeah.
I love you so much. Thank you
for
who
you too.
Are. And tell Russ I love him so much too.
I'll tell him. I can hear his voice in the other room.
Okay.
I'll tell him we love you. We love the family, and let's do this again. This is good.
Okay.
I like it.
Deal.
Okay. Deal.
Right.
Done. Holla. Bye, guys.
Bye. Love you. The one and only Ciara, ladies and gentlemen, the Ciara. She is absolutely incredible, and I love her so much. She's impacted my life in such a dramatic way, impact Chelsea, my kids. I hope that you could feel that and see that today. All right. Well, I got another appointment, so I am going to run to that appointment for now. And I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Hold the phone.